Hello and welcome to this short demonstration of WebTuna. WebTuna combines real user web performance measurement and web analytics. It is provided as software as a service, which means there is no hardware or software for you to install and maintain, and no data storage for you to worry about. Simply upload the WebTuna JavaScript file to your site, and the rest is managed by us. Once you've installed the JavaScript, you're ready to log in with your individual user ID and password and see the wealth of performance information and analytics that WebTuna can provide. The initial view you're presented with shows you some activity on your sites over time. In this case, the chart represents the average response time, the number of page hits, and the number of unique visitors. Scrolling further down the screen, we can see a tabular view showing us the list of sites we're monitoring, their average response time, and the number of page views. If we want to get more detail about a particular domain, we can use the domain drop down here. In this case, I'm going to focus on the silkusergroup.com site. Next, if I want to choose a different time period, I can either use the date control here, or I can go for a relative date. In this case, I'm going to look at the last week. Now you can see that the chart at the top and the table at the bottom have been updated. In this case, the number of page hits for the last week was 261, and their average response time was 4.35 seconds. As an average, this doesn't sound too bad. But what if we want to know, out of the 261 page hits, how many of those were good and how many were bad? Well, if you click on the icon here to the left, we can see exactly that. The number of requests which took between 0 and 1 seconds, between 1 and 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds, and so on. In this case, the majority of requests completed in less than 6 seconds, although there were a few here which took longer. What if we want to find more detail about this site? Well, by choosing the view option here, we can choose to break down the performance of that site by a number of different attributes. For example, by clicking page title, we can see the slowest pages on the site. Or, by changing the order of the table, we can see which pages had the most number of hits. In this case, the home page. Similarly, we can change the view to look at countries. Now we can see which countries experience the slowest response times. In this case, Brazil and France. The Geo dashboard shows a real-time view of the users currently accessing your site. In this case, we can see we have 65 users currently hitting the sites. The Google map on the right-hand side shows where those users are coming from. The size of the bubble here indicates the number of users at that location, whilst the colour of the bubble indicates the average response time those users are experiencing. Here we can see a large number of users coming from the United Kingdom, but response times there are good. Israel, on the other hand, has a smaller number of users, but their response times are poor. You can see that by hovering your mouse over a country gives you more information about the users and the performance that country is experiencing. And by clicking on the link, we can drill down into the country to see the individual users' sessions for that country. In this case, we can see there are currently 2 users in Italy, here and here. Again, by clicking on the link, we can drill down further into that user's session. This now tells us the IP address of the user, the country they came from, the browser type they're using, their company name or internet service provider, and the referrer, in this case Google Italy. You can also see the search keywords they used to hit the site. In this case, they searched on SQL Query Analyzer. So we've seen that WebTuna is provided as software as a service. It just requires a simple installation of a small JavaScript file onto your site. It measures real user performance of the actual end users hitting your site. This information is provided in real time, and through the Geo dashboard you can actually visualize the end users as they access your site. Not only that, but it contains historical performance information, allowing you to analyze trends over time and to view reports. And from these views we can drill down to individual users' sessions and individual page views to see exactly what's happening. It also provides email alerts so you can get notified as things start to change on your site. Thank you for listening. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did, then please visit www.webtuna.com to get more information and to start your 30-day trial.